Hi guys, Sabine and Charl from Pangolin Photo Safaris here. Today we stand out on our pool deck of the Pangolin Chobe Hotel, and as you can see behind me, our natural pool with a sunken fire pit where we like to sit at night and have our drinks. And we would like to show you today what we have in our bag. Charl and I, we usually travel together, so we would like to and share our equipment as well. So that's why we would like to give you an overview of what we take with us, especially if we do trips also elsewhere in Chobe, but also going to other places on safari in Africa.
Okay, so let's start off. First of all, you normally use just a normal backpack where we could fit as much as possible in, depending on the location, and this fits very easily in any plane. So let's start off here. Me and Sabine each have a 1DX Mark II that we are using. We also have some backup cameras. We also have a 1DX1 and a 5D just for backup. That depending on location, if we can bring another one with, but I found it's very crucial to have extra one. We also then have the 500mm f4 and the 200-400 from Canon with the built-in converter. So between the two we always play with them depending on location where we go. So if I will take the 500, I will also take a second body with the 100-400. I think for me that is a very nice combination. Then we also have the 70-200. Mainly we use it more for portraiture, macro lens that I like to use in the rainy season, a lot of insects that we have here in the Chobe, and then a 50mm 1.2. So these two lenses, the 50mm and 70-200, we use for portraiture. So if you like portraiture, this is nice. When we go to Namibia and we do, for example, the Himbas, this is the two lenses that we mainly were using for the portraiture. There's an extender. Would you like to use an extender if you needed extra reach? Yeah, this is what we have mainly in our bag. And then of course we have a wide angle lens. In this case this is Sigma 14-24 2.8. Very nice for landscape and astro photography.
Coming to astro photography, if you ever want to do that, sometimes you don't plan for it, but it might be just a nice starry night out there, then of course you will need a tripod, otherwise you won't get any sharp stars. So if you could manage to get one in your carry-on, then take a tripod with you for those cases, or make sure wherever you travel maybe they have tripods that you can use. Also, if you want to do astro photography or star photography, besides avoiding camera shake through holding your camera, you also avoid the camera shake by pressing the shutter button, and there is where it comes in handy to have a remote remote shutter control, which is this right here. Instead of pressing the button, you just slide a little button and then the shutter will go. Also, if you want to do long exposures, maybe a star trail, and you want to keep your shutter open for a long amount of time, you can just manually slide it and then come back after a certain amount of time and just slide it back again. We have ordered for ourselves from B&H now two new remote controls which have a built-in intervalometer, which is to take in a certain amount of certain time amount pictures for you in intervals. This remote is not capable of that, so you need to check once you buy if there's a built-in intervalometer, and also check some cameras have it built in camera, but the 1DX2 unfortunately doesn't have it, which is why we just ordered it ourselves.
Something just to come back to with the cameras, always batteries. Always have enough batteries. Here we have just a couple extra ones for the 1DX 1 and 2. Luckily they work actually on both cameras, so that's why we have them. Of course, then your charger. We have a couple of rechargeable batteries for the flashes which you need it. I personally don't use too much flashes. I like natural light, but in portraiture sometimes you need that fill-in flash or that side light put it on a tripod, and then you can remote it, and you have a little bit of sidelit.
All right, besides the cameras, of course, it's coming in handy having some computers with you as well. So we have each, I have a MacBook Air and Charl has the MacBook Pro, which we take onto our travels. Back home we have a bigger workstation, but for travel, of course, it's nice, the smaller the better, which those ones we can fit easily into our backpack as well, which is very handy. Obviously, that is to back up our images after we come back from a trip. We will download our memory cards. We have a few CF cards, which is the ones we use for Canon. For the 1DX, we also have a couple of C-Fast cards, which are very handy because they're even more fast and are good for video as well. So make sure you have plenty of memory cards, and also make sure that you have the latest update of your editing software. We use Adobe Lightroom, so make sure you have it updated before you go on your trip. Otherwise, you might struggle when you get there. To our basic workflow would be, we have a couple of SSD hard drives, something like this, nice and small, which you can buy for quite cheap today, and you can take those with you to back up your images, so you obviously load them on there. We have a couple of them, so we try and make a backup on 2 separate hard drives just to make sure we have everything safe. And while in camera already, our cameras have 2 card slots in. We record to both of them just to make sure we don't lose any pictures. Cleaning wise, you also want to take care of your equipment. You never know what's the conditions, especially in Africa. Often you will have lots of dust maybe once you go out on a game drive, or you might have rain and some splatters on your camera. So make sure you have some lens cleaning wipes with you. And then of course we have from our Pangolin those little guys, which are very helpful also just to get rid of little water droplets or dust on. Plus a little liquid can help. Sometimes you have stubborn marks on your lens. Then just spraying that on before you try and clean it will help you as well.
If you decided to join us wherever the location might be, and you're not sure what equipment you need or what equipment to bring, please don't hesitate. You can always send us a mail or message, follow us on Facebook, or and then we can give you an idea what equipment will be suitable for you. You don't necessarily have to go and buy the most expensive stuff there is, but give us a mail and we can talk, and then we can let you know what you need. Yeah.
All right, we realize this is a lot of equipment, and if you're only one person traveling, then of course that would be too much to take. So we would like to narrow it down, and Charl will let you know what he thinks is the best to take on an African safari if you have very limited space.
Okay, yeah, so for me, of course, space is always an issue, sizes, but I would probably, if I can, go over 500 fix or 600 fix if you have, plus a zoom lens, just to bring for that situations where a little bit closer. I would do a zoom lens, an extra body, and a wide angle. That I think would be for me a perfect combination for Africa. Second option, if you even have less space, then just a zoom lens, in this case a 200-400 with a 1.4 extender in. But if you don't necessarily need such expensive lens, you get these days very good zoom lenses. Sigma, Tamron, they're making the 150-600. From Canon you have 100-400. Could be sometimes short, but on a crop sensor this would work perfect. On Nikon you have a very nice 200-500 zoom lens, so you don't necessarily need a prime lens. If you can bring a prime lens, definitely prime lens with one zoom lens and a wide angle. That will be my bag.
And don't forget your laptop, because we also do offer post-processing here if you come and visit us in Chobe. If you bring your own laptop, then we can sit together and edit some images.
So don't forget to subscribe, and then please press the bell button if you would like to be notified for more videos. Thank you.
Hope to see you soon here. Have a good day. Bye.